Good evening. Excuse me for sitting on my tattoo artist. I sit like this all day. And so if there's a chiropractor in the house, I'd love to talk to you later. I'm really excited to be here tonight. Tim has become a great friend of mine, and I was very excited to be a part of this tonight. I was a youth pastor about a year ago, and still am, and was challenging my kids to get away from their Xbox a little bit and serve the community. But in addition to that, I said, I'm the leader, and I want to set an example for these kids, and prayed very hard. Like, God, what do you want me to do? You want me to go to Haiti, serve there, build schools? I will. You want me to serve the homeless? What do you want me to do? The answer I got was very clear, very quick, thank God. What do you love to do, Chris? And what do you do it for free? And from that, money was born. I have some friends that are corrections officers in Cook County. I bounced this idea off of them. Originally, I was focused on working with gang members because I have in the past, and I have a heart for helping those people. Because people are like, why do you want to help gang members? They're the cast-offs of society. They're the people that you see on the news that are, involved with drug dealing and shootings, especially here in Chicago. We see it every night on the news, right? Well, what they don't tell you on the news is a lot of those kids don't make a conscious choice if they want to join a gang. They're forced into it. So, took it to Cook County and said, hey, I want to do this. Figured I'd have a nice little ministry, maybe 5, 10 tattoos a month, and wrong. Went up to Cook County, got certified to tattoo inside Cook County Jail. I'm proud to say I'm the only person that's legally allowed to tattoo inside the jail. And a really cool thing happened one day. One of my friends from church was an agent with Homeland Security. And he said, hey Chris, I'd love for you to come talk to our gang team about this and see if maybe we could help some people up here. I said, absolutely. I was driving up there that morning and getting ready for the meeting. He said, hey, he called me and said, you mind if our trafficking people sit in on this meeting and hear what you have to say? I'm like, what kind of trafficking? What's going on? He said, human trafficking. I'm like, that doesn't happen here. Yeah, it does. It's like, we'll show you about it when you get here. We'll show you some pictures. So I went up, gave my presentation, loved it. We decided to partner up right away. And then they started taking these pictures and throwing them on the table in front of me. Let's go ahead and hit the next slide. That's what I saw. Probably looking at like UPC barcodes. What's that? It's like in the grocery store, right? Exactly. These women and sometimes young boys too, involved in trafficking are marked like product. It makes me cry every time I see it, I'm not gonna lie. But one of the cool things about doing what I am blessed by God to be able to do artistically is to take that. Let's go to the next slide. And turn it into that. So this particular tattoo, her pimp's name was Joker. Really cool name, right, Joker? And he decided all his girls were gonna have a Joker tattoo like the one you see here. And then after about 2.5 hours of work, it looked like the picture you see here. Let's go ahead and go to the next slide. The most common type of sex trafficking tattoo I see here in Chicago, and I've done some in Kansas City as well, are these barcodes. Probably 80% of what I see are the barcodes. I have the ability now to either do a cover-up, like what you're seeing here. Let's go ahead and go to the next slide. Or do a full white light type of, it's almost like a laser removal, but it uses white light. So this girl, I won't tell you her name for protection. She's been moved to another city by the FBI, but that is her pimp's name tattooed on the inside of her lip. And people ask me all the time, like, wow, doesn't that hurt, getting that removed? Think about this, what would hurt more? Getting that tattoo removed? Or A, having to remember the painful, hateful things that were done to her? And having that constant reminder every time she brushed her teeth or pulled it and looked at it, what she once was. So, I say here today, we just celebrated our 1-year anniversary, and yeah, that's great. I'm very proud to say, with the help of my wife and my church, Big Life Community Church, a new project, and generous people helping buy supplies, because I do all this work for free. We covered 508 tattoos for free last year. So, my goal for this year is to do 1,000, and I can't do it alone, so my next step goal is to hire on and bring in more tattoo artists to help out, which is always a challenge. The tattoo industry has grown hugely over the last 10 years or so, and I'm ashamed as a tattoo artist to say that as a community, it's typically a greed-driven business. It's a cash business, and a lot of the people in the tattoo industry aren't Christians. They're not willing to help out, but some of them are. So, proud to say I have a guy that's joining me starting next week in Aurora. It's Ryan Newcomer. He's joining on with us. He's going to partner with INK180 to cover tattoos for both former gang members and women involved in trafficking. We've also got a tattoo artist in Indianapolis that's coming on board, partnering with us. So I've been praying real hard. I want to help as many of these women and these young men and women that we can. As a father, I look at my kids every day, and I shake my head. I'm like, how can this happen here? How can we let this happen here? And my 14-year-old daughter talks with me and my wife about it a lot. She's become very active in discussions we've had about trafficking now, and I've always been very careful about what I'll tell her, because it's probably the most hideous thing I've heard in my whole 41 years on this planet, what's going on. But one thing that I'm seeing, and I'm sure James will talk about it when he gets up here, is roughly 80% of the women that I've worked with that have been involved in trafficking got involved with trafficking because they ran away from home. I had one girl tell me she ran away from home because her parents took her phone away. She was kidnapped by a pimp, drugged, fed harder drugs until she was hooked on them, and moved far away from her home, and hadn't seen her parents in 7 years until she was rescued. Over a phone. I'm very proud of what INK180 has turned into, from thinking it was going to be a nice little ministry to do once in a while, to almost a full-time job of what it is right now, and I love that about it. I wish I didn't have all these tattoos to cover, but the fact is I do, and I will continue to do so as long as God allows my hands to work and my brain to create. And it's cool to see my son is 11. He's learning how to tattoo at 11 because he wants to take over the INK180 side of the business. So, yeah, exactly. Amen is right. My daughter's 14, like I said. She's a freshman at Oswego High School, and one of her passions right now is to be a teen mentor to other girls, to talk to them about the perils of running away. And I'm real proud of that. So, thank you guys very much for coming out. I'm going to be here all night. I'll have a table. We have it back here, but we may move it out there in a few minutes. I'd love to answer every question you have. INK180 is a nonprofit. It's driven by donations from people that want to help. Like I said, it's a free service, but last year's supplies were over $10,000. So we're just trying to keep it going as long as we can. And I thank you for coming out to learn about this tonight. I'm really excited to sit and listen to James, just like I know you guys are. So thank you very much.